Picture this. You get your paycheck, you pay your bills, you buy groceries, and whatever's left, you toss into your checking account, planning to figure out investing later. Weeks turn into months. Months turn into years. And one day, you look at your bank balance and realize something uncomfortable. You've been working hard for over a decade, and you have almost nothing to show for it. No investments, no real savings plan. Just a paycheck that disappears every single month like it was never there in the first place. Here's the strange part. It's not because you're bad with money. It's not because you don't earn enough. Most people who stay broke aren't broke because of their income. They're broke because of one habit they never built. And once you understand this habit, everything about your financial life starts to shift. So in this video, we're going to break down exactly why some people build real wealth while others stay stuck living paycheck to paycheck, no matter how much they earn, and what you can actually do about it starting today. Let's start with an idea that might sting a little. Your income is not the main reason you're not building wealth. There are doctors and lawyers earning $200,000 a year who are broke. And there are teachers and mechanics earning $50,000 a year who retire with over $1 million in the bank. The difference isn't the paycheck, it's the system behind the paycheck. Here's the math that explains it. Let's say two people each earn $60,000 a year. Person one spends almost everything they make. Whatever's left after bills, maybe $100 a month, goes into a regular checking account, earning basically nothing. Person two automatically invests just 15% of their income, about $750 a month, into the stock market. After 25 years, assuming an average 8% annual return, person one has maybe $30,000 saved up, if they're lucky and disciplined. Person two has over $700,000. Same income, same job, same paycheck, completely different life. So what's actually going on here? It comes down to something called the wealth gap. And it's not about how much you make, it's about where your money goes the moment it hits your account. And most people get this backwards. They pay everyone else first. Rent, credit cards, subscriptions, takeout. And then, if anything is left over, they consider investing. But by the time they get to that point, there's usually nothing left. This is why so many people feel like they're working hard, but going nowhere. Their money has a dozen jobs before it ever gets the chance to work for them. Now here's where it gets interesting, because fixing this doesn't require a bigger salary. It requires flipping the order of operations. Let's walk through how that actually works, step by step. Step 1. Pay yourself first. This is the single biggest shift you can make. Instead of paying bills first and investing whatever's left, you flip it. The moment your paycheck arrives, a percentage goes straight into investments before you even see it. Most banking and brokerage apps let you automate this completely, so you're never tempted to skip it. Even 10% is enough to start changing your trajectory. Step 2. Make investing invisible. Willpower is unreliable. If you have to manually decide to invest every single month, you'll eventually skip it, especially during a tight month. But if the transfer happens automatically, the same way your Netflix subscription gets charged whether you think about it or not, investing becomes something that happens to you instead of something you have to remember to do. Step 3. Protect the system with a cash buffer. This is important, so don't skip it. Before you go all in on investing, keep a small cushion of cash, maybe 1 month of expenses, sitting in a basic savings account. This isn't your emergency fund yet, but it's enough to absorb small surprises without you having to pull money out of your investments. Because every time you sell investments early to cover a surprise expense, you interrupt compounding, and compounding is where the real wealth comes from. Step 4. Increase your investing rate as your income grows, not your spending. This is the part most people get wrong. When they get a raise, they upgrade their lifestyle. Nicer apartment, nicer car, more takeout. But if you increase your investing percentage instead, even slightly, your wealth grows dramatically faster than your lifestyle does. This one shift alone is responsible for more early retirements than almost anything else. Step 5. Keep your investments boring and simple. You don't need to pick individual stocks or time the market. Broad index funds that track the overall market have historically outperformed most actively managed strategies over the long run, largely because they keep costs low and stay diversified across hundreds of companies at once. Boring, unglamorous, and remarkably effective. Now let's talk about why this feels so hard to actually do, because understanding the steps is one thing, but sticking to them is another. The truth is, spending feels good right now. Investing feels good eventually. And our brains are wired to prioritize right now over eventually. That's not a character flaw. That's just how human psychology works. This is exactly why automation matters so much. It removes the daily battle between your present self and your future self. Let's use an analogy. Imagine your income is a river. If you don't build a dam somewhere, all that water just flows straight out to the ocean and disappears. Paying yourself first is like building that dam early, before the water even reaches the rest of your life. Once the dam is in place, the water behind it starts collecting, and over time, that collection becomes a reservoir big enough to power everything else you want in life. Here's another thing most people don't realize. Time matters more than the amount you start with. Someone who invests $200 a month starting at age 25 will very likely end up with more money by retirement than someone investing $500 a month starting at age 40, simply because of how many more years their money has to compound. This is why the biggest mistake isn't investing too little, it's waiting too long to start. Let's run one more example, because the numbers really do the convincing here. Imagine you invest just $250 a month starting today, with an average annual return of 8%. After 10 years, you'd have around $45,000. After 20 years, around $137,000. After 30 years, around $340,000. Notice something important. The growth between year 20 and year 30 is bigger than the entire first 20 years combined. That's compounding, accelerating in the background, quietly, while you go about your life. Of course, markets don't move in a straight line. There will be years where your investments drop 10, 20, even 30%. Headlines will get dramatic. People around you will panic. But here's what long-term investors understand that beginners often don't. A market downturn isn't a warning sign to stop. It's often a discount. When prices drop and you keep investing consistently, you're buying more shares for the same amount of money, which can significantly boost your returns once the market recovers. And historically, it always has. So let's bring this all together. Building wealth isn't really about finding a secret stock or timing the perfect moment. It's about building a system where your money is working before you even have the chance to spend it. Pay yourself first. Automate the process. Keep a small buffer for emergencies. Increase your investing rate as your income grows. And keep your strategy simple and consistent. The people who end up wealthy usually aren't the ones who made one brilliant decision. They're the ones who made the same boring, disciplined decision every single month for years, without needing motivation to do it, because the system did the work for them. So here's a question worth sitting with. Right now, is your money working for you, or are you still working for your money? Because the moment you flip that order, pay yourself first, automate it, and let time do the rest. That's the moment your financial life actually starts to change.